Yeah. Okay, here we are. It's been a crazy night here. Getting things started was a little bit more complex than I thought it was going to be tonight, but we're on, we're live, and that's all that really matters. Good evening, and thank you for your patience as I'm trying to get into all of this stuff here. Okay, here we are. It's been a crazy night here.
And I
Getting
don't
things
even
started was
know
a little
where
bit more
anything
complex
is.
than I thought it
Okay,
was
I
going to
do.
be tonight, but we're on. There we go. Sorry about the feedback. Everything's set up now. I am the Confident Autistic. My apologies. Everything has been a mess this evening. So I'm hoping you all can hear me. And if you can, put something in chat because I have no idea if this is work. I think it is. So good evening to all. I think we're live. We should be live. Why does it? Okay, I have no idea. I don't know. Anyway, this is Confident Autistic. We got a lot of great stuff coming in tonight, so I'm hoping this is working. I'm hoping that you can see and hear me, or at least hear me at this point. Yeah, I will not even get into the story of why this has been a disaster tonight, but it has been a disaster, and my apologies for that. And I guess we're live. It looks like we're live. I think we're live. And we should be back. Okay, I know what's going on here. Let me try this. I don't think we're on. Okay, something went wrong. So let me try this. Okay, hold on. Are we still live? I hope we're live. This has not been a good evening for me. Things are just wacky, wacky, wacky. So let me see. I'm checking. Are we back? I don't know. I don't know if we're live or not. I don't know. This has not been a good evening for me. Things have been back. Okay, let me try this. Checking. Okay, we apparently are live. Okay. Everything is wacky tonight. I have no idea what's going on. I'm gonna do, whoops. I'm gonna do this, get this over. I am so sorry. This usually runs a lot smoother than what we're seeing right now. So let me go in here, get this up, and see where we are. And okay, we are live. Okay, I think I lost people, but that's okay. We should be live. Okay, anyway, let's just work. No, I'm not gonna worry about that. Okay, we should be live. It's weird, it's strange, it's goofy, but we're here. Okay, it is the Confident Autistic here with you. You know, sometimes technology works really well, and other times technology is a challenge. Okay, great. People can hear me. It's I don't know. Great. I'm all miscombobulated. Anyway, thank you for tuning in tonight. And let me know where you are tuning in from so that I know that everything is working. Okay, I'm going to tell you the story. I got in here early and I'm looking for something. Oh, there it is. I got in here early and I was going to start the stream and I did all the stuff to start it so I can start 15 minutes early so people can hop in. And then there's a delay and it did not show up streaming on my end instantly. So I bailed on it. Then to reestablish has been a heck of a nightmare. But that's my problem. Okay, so we're here tonight. We're going to be doing a Q&A in a little bit. And there we go. And I'm going the wrong way on these. All right, there we go. So I don't have a heading tonight. So we're just going to have an open Q&A. But before we get into all of that, this is probably going to go down as one of my worst live events. So I am so embarrassed. But I want to tell you about some exciting stuff going on. We have ended our 90-day challenge. So we are not doing that anymore. That's done with. But we are transitioning into a new format. We're going to have videos up Monday and Thursdays, and maybe even Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. But definitely, I'm committing to Monday and Thursdays. And Mondays are going to be Adult Autism 101. And Thursdays is going to be more about confidence building. So that's something for you to look forward to. Mark your calendars, tell your friends, tell your pets, whatever you want to do. It doesn't matter to me. And that's what we're going to be doing on those days. Now, this week we this is the month of love, and that's our theme. All of them this month. All of our videos on Monday is going to be related around. Just give me one moment, bothering me. Going to be focused around love and romance. We did our first one this Monday on why love is so challenging for us on the spectrum. And there's going to be some that we're going to be talking about dating, which I haven't dated in many years because I've been married for over 20. And if you like to continue being married, dating is not something you should be doing. Well, maybe with your wife, yes, but anybody else, probably not. So, but we are going to be talking about dating and all, and we have some other fun stuff coming up, like how to keep have a healthy relationship and marriage with one person on the spectrum. So it's going to be a good month. I am so flustered tonight. My apologies for that. So let's do this. Let me get off this screen. Let me get off this screen. And I want to show you a couple of things. And I clicked on the wrong one. There we go. I want to show you a couple of things that have been going on that, well, I'm going to try to. There we are. Okay, so I'm going to show you, at least try to show you something really fascinating here that I really am excited about. We have a new giveaway, a new free resource for you. And this resource is entitled Let's see. Embrace Autism Confidently, a guide to understanding yourself and building confidence. This is a brand new resource. It just went live last night, I believe. I think it was yesterday. Anyway, yeah, I'm pretty sure it was yesterday. Maybe the night before, but it went live very recently, just last day or two. And it it's a great little resource, 27 pages, and it's going to take you through what you need to know about autism and building confidence, because our audience, or who I really am trying to serve, is anyone who suspects they're autistic, self-identifies they're autistic, or has received a late diagnosis of autism. And because when that happens, it's a very changing event, because this has happened to me. I've been through all through those phases. And the truth is, we did not just become autistic. We've been autistic all our lives, and we did not realize it till later in life. And it's a big shift in our lives of how we think and how we perceive ourselves. And it's a very challenging time, and it can really upset our beliefs and what's important to us. So I put together this little PDF that's going to help you through that, understand what autism is, and give you some advice and some things you can start doing right away to work on building your confidence. And in there are reflection questions for each part of the PDF that will help you reflect upon what you read and make some observations, and you can hold on to those and refer to them as you go through your journey. So it's a great little resource. You can get that from my website at theconfidentautistic.com slash free gift. Now, if you're a current subscriber of my newsletter, which has been rebranded to the Confident Autistic Blast, you don't go and do this, okay, because you already subscribed. You will be getting a link in the email this coming Tuesday to download this new resource. Now, if you're looking for any of my other previous resources that I did, including the last one, which was the 31 affirmations for autistic adults, you're going to want to go to my Patreon page, which is patreon.com slash the confident autistic. And I put them up there. They're free. You don't have to pay for these. Any past free things I've given away to entice people to join the newsletter or whatever is available on my Patreon at no cost to you. So yes, go on over and you can check those things out, and and get your free copies of those. So just go to my Patreon page. Now, if you go to my page, you will not see this first thing, because that's mine, and that's mine too. But you'll start seeing things like here, where you can click on and download the PDFs. And I put 3 of my previous PDFs up there, maybe 4. I think it's 4. Anyway, so that's in there. Now, the other thing that's still going on right now, and you have questions, anything Q&A related, go and put them in the chat, and we'll get to them. Uh, what what we still have going on is the survey on for your feedback to make this channel better, which includes me learning how to start a live stream correctly. That's something I'm going to be working on, an internal issue which I will resolve. Believe me, I will. So if you go to the Patreon page, it'll take you a link to that. If you go to my website and scroll on up and click on blog, it is going to be the second item, right? Yeah, here it is. Help build confidence. And you go in here and it gives you a link to the Google form for you to fill out and give me some feedback on what you'd like to see on the channel. So that's going to be that's a great thing. No, nowhere in that form does it ask for anything confidential. I won't know who you are. I won't know anything about you. So you can say what you honestly feel. I will never know who it is. So feel free to participate in that. I really would like your feedback on what we're doing and how we can make this channel better, because this channel is not for me. This channel is for you, and that is just something that is important to me. I would like to have you do. So as we are going through all of this right now, if you have any questions for me about anything autistic related or self-confidence related, please let me know. And I will be happy to do my very best to answer them. It's been kind of an interesting week. It really has been. a lot of things going on around here, getting ready, going through the transition of what we do in the channel and all. So that is super. And there we go. That should be where I am. That, yeah, I think it, whoops, I think it is where I am. All right, hold on. I clicked on something. I should not click on stuff. This should be a rule of mine. No clicking during the show. Okay, let's see. I can do, I don't think I need that open. No, I don't. Okay. Anyway, I was trying to move something to see something. There we are. Okay. So it's been an interesting week. What's going on behind the scenes? Let me explain this. I have two monitors, and tonight I decided that everything I do on monitor one, I'm doing on monitor two tonight. Everything I'm doing on monitor two normally, I'm doing on monitor one. So everything's really wacky here. But it's been an interesting week. We're doing the transition. I just put up a new video tonight. I mean, literally less than 2 hours ago, that talks about how DEI increases and helps us build confidence as autistic adults. Now, we do stay away from politics on the channel, but yet this has been in the news lately. So I thought it was really important to share with you a video on how DEI, which stands for diversity, equality, and inclusion, uh, how that helps build self confidence for those of us on the spectrum, and even for people who are not on the spectrum. So uh, that was put up tonight, and I'm kind of expecting that one to really resonate with a lot of you. And so please check that out after this live stream. Now, any questions that you have, we're open for questions. Go ahead and pop them all into chat. Again, I apologize for the technical issues, and that may be why we're having a little lag in getting people to participate tonight. So that's fine. Yeah, it's been kind of interesting. Valentine's is coming up next week, and next week on our live stream, we will be discussing. Uh, we'll be following up on the video about dating and anything G-rated about romance, and that's something I do want to mention. That this series I'm doing on romance on Adult Autism 101 is G-rated. We're not going to get into anything that should trigger anything for anyone. We're not going to go the adult route. We're going to be talking about dating. We're going to talk about falling in love. We're going to talk about marriage. We're going to be talking about how to keep our relationships lasting. Those type of things. We're not going to be talking about anything else at this time. So that's super. That would be coming along. So as we wait for questions, I'd like to also mention to you that we have, we have the Patreon page. I shared that with you a few moments ago. And that's going to be expanding because we're going to be putting some really fun stuff in there. And I'm going to stop this for a moment. Let's share screen. There we go. And let me just do that. All right. And there we go. Get this up here. All right. There we go. Anyway, we have a Patreon that's going to have some really cool stuff up there. I'm not going to tell you everything because a lot of it's still in flux and still being developed. But it's going to start having my hope for this. Let me just word it that way, okay? The hope that I have for this Patreon is for this to be a resource area for you to get what you want from me. Now, I'm not putting everything behind a paywall because I know that, money's tight and it's going to probably get tighter. Inflation, all that nasty stuff. But I'm going to be putting some resources back there in some ways that you can support my mission of empowering autistic adults to embrace autism confidently. And before I forget, if you have a question, the Q&A is ready. Just pop anything in there that you have a question about autism or about uh, confidence building, whichever way you want to look at it, whatever type of question you have, I'll be happy to answer those. And my apologies again. This did not start on time tonight. There's some technical issues, but that's been resolved. But like I said, on the Patreon, we're going to be having some really great stuff. There's going to be, my hope is that there's going to be additional resources that you could get for with the videos I post. and they will be on the Patreon, so it's easy to access. There will be some digital resources that will be available that will you will have to pay for, um, because nothing in life and that everything can't be free. We got to make money here to continue to fulfill the mission. So there'll be things, but they'll all be affordable, reasonably priced, and great offers and stuff. And we're going to be launching a podcast. My goal is to launch a new podcast, Embrace Autism Confidently, in the month of March. And we're going to have episodes. It'll be kind of great and all. My idea is this. These episodes are going to be like 20 minutes long, generally speaking, that you can watch here on YouTube. But if you want a deeper dive, the same episode is going to be on Patreon, but we've added a bonus content. Or maybe we just do this, the bonus contents over there on Patreon, where you can get a deeper dive into it. So I don't know, but we got a lot of great things kind of in the hopper that I'm hoping to do on the Patreon site. So go ahead, check that out. That's patreon.com/the confident autistic. So those are the things that are coming up. The other thing I need to share with you, and I got the information, I've not put it together for release, but I will be putting in the newsletter, which you want to get a newsletter. And you do that by going to theconfidentautistic.com/free gift. And you know what? I can put that in the chat. I think I will. Theconfidentautistic.com/free gift. And you will get into the newsletter. But I've been a guest on a podcast recently. We recorded about a week ago and it dropped a couple of days ago. I've just been so busy working on some other stuff that I haven't had a chance to promote it, but it will be in the newsletter. It will be on social media soon. And a wonderful interview by a fellow autistic podcaster. His name is Sam Mitchell. He is not related to me, but I was on his podcast, which is I think it's called Autism Rocks and Roll. And there's so many things in my mind. I just can't remember it all. Anyway, so that is something. It was a fun interview. I think it was over. I know it was over an hour. I don't know what he edited it down to, or if he edited it all. I've not even checked it out. I've been that busy, but it was a great interview, and I will be promoting it. On my social media, LinkedIn, my Facebook in the coming days, and it'll be in the newsletter. And you do want to get the newsletter, not just for that freebie. Okay. Freebie is really great, but you want to get the newsletter because there's going to be content in the newsletter that's only in the newsletter. You don't want to mess with that. Okay. You want to make sure you get in there, and it's going to have a confidence builder of the week. And that's either starting this coming Tuesday or the Tuesday after. I'll be putting in a brief little confidence builder that I only share with subscribers to the newsletter. So you do want to definitely subscribe, and you can do that by going to theconfidentautistic.com/free gift. And when you subscribe, you will get a free resource, a free PDF, a 27-page PDF that will help you understand autism and help you start building your confidence. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit more about that here in a second, but I do want to remind you, if you have a question about autism or about confidence building, pop them into the chat. I'll be looking over there occasionally, and any questions that come up, I'll do my very best to answer them to the best of my abilities. And now, getting back to the newsletter, it's a weekly newsletter, primarily on Tuesdays, that will be going out to you. And like I said, it's going to have the confidence builder of the week in there. And this is something that it's only going to be available to subscribers to the newsletter. So you want to get on board. You want to subscribe to this newsletter. It's going to really help you understand your autism and help you start building confidence, because this is what I'm all about. I want to help empower you to embrace autism confidently. Like I said a little bit earlier, I'm going to repeat myself because it's my live stream and I can. I want to. Well, let me back up here. I know from my own experience, when you first suspect that you're autistic, self-identify as autistic, or have received or pursuing a late diagnosis of autism. That is a major shift in your life. Even though you've been autistic your entire life, you just did not know about it. And this is why I do what I do, because this rocks your world. This can rock your world. If you're an adult, middle age, whatever age, this is a new change in your identity of who you are. And it's a very challenging change because I've been through it, and it can shake your confidence and your self identity. So, this is why I do what I do, and this is why that booklet is so important for you to get. If you're starting that journey, if you're starting to suspect you're on the spectrum, or if you self-identify or have a late diagnosis, your world could be rocked. And I want to be here to help you stabilize that world. So that resource is free and available from my website, theconfidentautistic.com/free gift. So go and grab that today. And we've had other items that we've given away over the past, and all of those are available on my Patreon, which is patreon.com/the confident autistic. And if you want to follow me on social media, I pretty much am known as the Confident Autistic everywhere. I think it's a little bit different on Blue Sky, but I am on social media, and I would love to connect with you out there on the fascinating world of social media. So, I'm not seeing any questions come in, so I'm just going to keep this open for a little while and talk a little bit longer, see if anything comes in. If not, we'll wrap it up. But I will tell you that next week, we will be having a theme. We'll actually have a topic. It's not going to be open Q&A per se. I mean, we will still have an open Q&A, but we're going to start off with a discussion about romance on Valentine's Day. I know that can be hard for some of us on the spectrum, especially if we're not involved in a relationship. And our society kind of pressures us to believe we should be with somebody. And we're going to talk about those feelings and those experiences and how we can survive Valentine's Day, excuse me, without being involved in a relationship. And I promise you next week I'll get the thing started on time because I learned from my mistakes. I believe this. I tell people this all the time. You have not failed, and it was not a mistake if you learn something from it. Because if something goes wrong and you learn something from it, it's not a mistake. It was a learning lesson. It was something that helps you become a better version of you. And that's what happens to me. That I'm going to become a better version of me from this mistake tonight of getting connected. And that's okay. We all make mistakes. I mean, we're not perfect. We're human beings. That happens. Now, like I said, next week we're going to be talking about Valentine's Day. We're going to be talking about romance and love and answering those questions to the best of my ability. So that's going to be coming up. But every year at Valentine's Day, I remember an incident that happened in my life. This was many years ago before I met my wife, before I was even before I was dating her. I lived in an apartment and it was walking distance to this grocery store. And I decided it was Valentine's Day. And I don't know. I just wanted Pepsi, some kind of junk food. I don't know. And I just want to get out of the house for a while. So I walked up to the grocery store and I walked in there. And near the front of the store, they had this big container. You've seen them in the stores. This big glass container, door with shelves behind it with all these flowers on it. Okay, and this is a big thing at Valentine's Day. And there was some left, surprisingly, but there was some left. And there was this guy that was standing there, and he just stood there, looking at it, looking all around. I guess he's trying to decide what to get. And I'm thinking it's like after 10 o'clock, Valentine's night. If you are here to get flowers for your girlfriend, wife, whoever, your significant other, because you forgot them earlier, stop looking, just buy them all. Buy the whole thing out because you're going to need them. So, yeah, that what I actually saw that happen, and I remember that every year on Valentine's Day, and I am really great at Valentine's Day. And I'll tell you how great I am. Well, that sounds egotistical, but I'll share. some of the things I've done and how I express love to my wife. Remember the BG rated, how I express love as an autistic adult to my wife, who is a neurotypical individual. Because we all have love languages, and we'll talk about this next week. We all have love languages, and we we communicate our loves in different ways. And that's not uncommon for people on the spectrum for us to communicate our relationships and our feelings differently than neurotypicals. And that's fine. That's normal. We should not shy away from that. We should embrace our uniqueness, and our partners should embrace our uniqueness as well, because that one makes us unique. It makes us special and different than everyone else. So you involve life's not boring when you have somebody autistic in your life, or ADHD, and I have both. I'm autistic and I have ADHD, so it's a party all the time around me. So this is going to be, let me check the time, because I don't even have my clock set up correctly. Okay, 7:41 Central Time here. All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to give it another 5 minutes, see if anyone has any questions. And if so, pop them in. Otherwise, we're going to wrap this up. But in the coming weeks, starting next week, we're going to have a theme most weeks, a topic. We're going to try that and see if that brings in some viewers and listeners to it. I think it will. So we're going to start with romance next week, and then you want to be here next week, because what I'll do at the end, you're going to want to say to the end of these, okay? Because I'm going to put a little. Yeah, I could do a poll on this, couldn't I? Yes, I could. I'll put a poll in chat next week for us to decide what topic we should discuss and do a Q&A on the following week. So we'll give that a shot. Now, one thing, this popped into my mind and I want to share it, because I mentioned we have a Patreon page now. And one of the things that would be on the Patreon site, and probably in a premium area, is some behind the scenes stuff. And I know my wife is watching this, okay? My wife and I have talked about downsizing my office, because there's some clutter in here. You can't see it. I don't even have the overhead on right now. There's some clutter in here. We're going to redo this office to make it sensory friendly for me. And I'm toying with the idea. And I say that because I've not told her about this. Documenting the transformation of this office. And if she signs off on that project, documenting it, I'm going to document it and maybe share pictures, maybe short videos of what has been done. I don't know. But, I think that'd be kind of fun. I think it'd be interesting because, a lot of us on the spectrum need sensory friendly areas. We just don't know how to create them. And a lot of us struggle when there's clutter around us. I know I do. Clutter drives me batty. I like organization. So we're going to be transforming my office, and we're going to be doing that. It's going to be great. And I plan to document it in detail on Patreon, and maybe, just a little bit here and there on the YouTube channel and in my newsletter. So that will be heading our way as well. So I guess, I'm going to pop and share a couple of things here and ask some questions, see if we get any interaction here. Uh, has anyone done their taxes? Because we did ours this week, and I did not get the refund that I was expecting this year. So that really kind of bummed me out. So have you done your taxes? And we go to an accountant to do it because I have a business and all. And how do you react and handle when you find out your refund is going to be smaller than you thought it was, or larger than you thought it was? How does that affect you? I mean, does that cause anxiety, stress, relief? What does it do for you? And for me, it caused a little bit of anxiety this year, but and we're going to make it. I believe we have some strategies involved, but I think the trip to Hawaii is off the table this year. Maybe the following year, but it's not going to happen this year. So anyway, it's that's one of the things that's been going on here. Getting ready for Valentine's Day. Anyone have any special plans for Valentine's Day? And you can share them here, and we'll be talking about that next week as well. That the Valentine's and what plans are. I'll even share some of the things I've done in the past on Valentine's Day. We used to go out for dinner every year on Valentine's Day, but now it's and it was always challenging for me then. It's a little bit more now, but we are it's the noise of the restaurants. I mean, everyone goes to a restaurant on Valentine's Day, and it's like, oh my gosh, it's so crowded and noisy. It's hard to believe. So anyway, and that is uh, coming up. So, if anyone has any questions about autism, adult autism, or confidence building, feel free to shoot them in there. Let me know where you're from, uh, how you found this live stream, anything like that. Love to hear your feedback, love to hear your comments, because that's what I'm here for. And I'm going to pause for a moment while I take a nice, refreshing drink of water. Talking nonstop for almost an hour and having diabetes is causes dehydration, and dehydration is not good for you. So I have to drink some water. And a good friend of mine, Tony Jacobson, who's very involved in OI, which is Osteo Imperfecta. I believe I'm getting that correct. Anyway, it basically means brittle bone disease, and he's very much into exercise and physical fitness and all. And he's always on me about trying to eat and drink better in my life. And I do crunches, and that sounds like exercise, but what it is those little Nestle Crunch bars. I love those. And the reason I brought this up and the reason it popped in my mind while I'm waiting to see if anyone has any questions, feel free to pop them into the chat, is a good way to figure out how much water you're supposed to drink each day is take your weight, divide it in half, and that tells you how many ounces of water a day you should be drinking. And if you drink that amount of water, plus, don't eat, a whole box of these bad boys, these Hostess Twinkies. I love Twinkies. This can help reduce weight, according to Tony. And I've been drinking the right amount, and I have been losing weight for a while, but lately I've been binge eating. And and that does not help because I've been binge eating and stress eating and anxiety eating, so that's not good. Do you do that? Do you do any anxiety eating or stress eating? If so, what's your favorite comfort food? One of mine is Twinkies. I also like Nestle Crunch. Lately, I've gotten into blueberry Pop Tarts. Oh, I love those things. I love blue, and I think that's why I'm drawn to them. I love blueberry Pop Tarts. I have a blueberry muffin in the mornings. My office is all in blue. I just love blue. All right, so this is the very, 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 very last call for any questions. So ask them now or wait till next week, one of the two. But feel free to pop them into chat, and I'll do my best to answer them. I'm tempted to open. I should not eat on camera. Okay. I'll put that away. Twinkies can come in a moment. I'm gonna have when I get done here. I'm gonna have my Twinkie. I'm gonna have some chocolate milk. My wife went out to the store today. She bought me a chocolate milk. She knows I love chocolate milk. So, and I think the chocolate milk, the milk part of it, cancels out anything bad from this Twinkie. So that's my theory, and I'm sticking to it. So, like I said, next week we're gonna be back, and we're gonna have a topic that's relevant to Valentine's Day. And we're going to be talking about how we deal with Valentine's Day as autistic adults because relationships can be very difficult for us. Um, Often we may spend Valentine's Day alone and feel the pressure of society telling us we should be with somebody on Valentine's Day in a romantic relationship. So we're going to be talking about that, how we deal with that, and come up with strategies to be okay with the fact that Valentine's Day, we're not with someone and we're coming up with other ways to celebrate Valentine's Day that makes us feel good about ourselves, or how to have a sensory friendly Valentine's experience. We can talk about that as well. So anything Valentine's related and autism related will be on next week's live stream. So next week's live stream will be again at 7 p.m. Central. I promise you, it will start on time. Okay, actually, I try to start the stream about 15 minutes early so people can hop on, but it will be starting on time give or take 1 minute on time next week, and we'll be talking about Valentine's Day and autism. So you want to be here for that. Thank you for watching. If you tuned in live tonight, thank you so much for joining me live. If you're watching this in archive, thank you for your attention tonight, or tuning in and watching this in archive. And don't forget to join me live. I do these Thursday nights at 7 p.m. Central Time to connect with you and to provide a service to you. So yeah, feel free to come back and join me on a Thursday night, and we'll be doing this again next week. So I do want to thank you for tuning in tonight, and I wish you a very wonderful week. I know in some parts of the country that we're having Arctic cold and we're having really bad snow weather. Where I am, it was beautiful Monday. It was 73, and then Tuesday it was 43. So, like we were being taunted. Now we got spring fever, and oh my gosh, I want the warm weather to come back. Anyway, and next week I think we have some snow in the forecast here and some really cold below freezing days. So I'm gonna bundle up for that. So again, thank you for tuning in tonight. Thank you for watching this. If you're watching in archive, don't forget to join me next Thursday night, 7 p.m. Central, where we talk about autism and Valentine's Day. Yeah, it's going to be a big one. So that is coming. Can't wait. Looking forward to it. Have a wonderful week. And remember, you're not going through the journey of suspecting you're autistic, self-identifying you're autistic, or pursuing or received a late diagnosis of autism by yourself. All of us are doing this together. We are defining yourselfers. That means we are people who are on the spectrum, late diagnosed, and we're not going to let that diagnosis define us in a negative way. So we're all in this together. We're a community, and we're going to be there to support one another. And most importantly, maybe not most importantly, because that sounds egotistical, but I do want to leave you with this last thought. I am here to help you embrace autism confidently. And if there's anything I could do to help you, please reach out to me. You can reach out to me through my website, theconfidentautistic.com, or my email, chris@defineyourself.us. Have a wonderful evening. Have a wonderful weekend. And I will see you next Thursday night live. And don't forget to check out all the wonderful, amazing videos I have on this channel. They're going to blow your socks off. So thanks again for tuning in tonight. Have a great evening. See you next week.